I was just 15 when my life was forever changed. I was married off to an old man, a man with 8 wives. I was just a child, but I was expected to be a wife, a servant, and a slave. I remember the day I was married like it was yesterday. I was just 15 years old, and my parents had arranged for me to marry an old man from a far-off village. I was scared and unsure of what lay ahead, but my parents reassured me that it was a good match. As I walked out, I saw my husband-to-be waiting for me. He was old and wrinkled, with a kind face but cold eyes. I felt a shiver run down my spine as he took my hand and we exchanged vows. After the wedding, I moved to my husband's village. It was a small rural community where everyone knew each other's business. I was introduced to my husband's 8 other wives who looked at me with a mixture of curiosity and hostility. I remember the day I arrived at his village, a village so far from my parents' home. I was scared, alone, and unsure of what lay ahead. The elder wives, they looked at me with scorn, with hatred. They saw me as a threat, a young girl who would steal their husband's attention. They made it clear that I was the lowest rung on the ladder and that I would have to work hard to prove myself. They assigned me tasks from dawn to dusk, from fetching water to cooking meals. I was exhausted, but I knew I had to keep going. I fetched water, cooked meals, cleaned the compound. I was exhausted, but I couldn't rest. They would beat me, whip me if I didn't complete my tasks. I tried to tell people, to scream for help, but no one listened. They thought I was just a disobedient wife, a girl who didn't know her place, but I knew I didn't belong there. I knew I was meant for more. One day, as I was walking back to the village from the river, I started singing a song. It was a song that came from the depths of my soul, a song that expressed my sadness and my longing for freedom. People of the world, hear my cry. I am a girl lost and alone. I am a wife without a voice. I am a soul dying slowly. I sang it softly, hoping that someone would hear me, hoping that someone would come to my aid, but no one came. As time went on, the elder wives grew more and more cruel. They would beat me for the smallest issue, for not completing my tasks on time, for not cooking the meals to their liking. I would cry and beg for mercy, but they would just laugh and hit me harder. My husband would sometimes intervene, but he was old and weak, and the elder wives would just ignore him. I remember the day they beat me for the first time. I had forgotten to fetch water from the river, and the elder wives were furious. They dragged me to the center of the compound, and one by one, they took turns hitting me with sticks and whips. I felt like I was going to die, like my body was going to break into pieces. But the physical pain was nothing compared to the emotional pain. I felt like I was worthless, like I didn't deserve to be loved or respected. I felt like I was just a slave, a servant, a piece of property. The beatings continued for weeks, months. I lost count of the number of times I was hit, kicked, and slapped. I lost count of the number of times I cried, begged, and pleaded. I lost hope. I lost the desire to be free, to be loved, and to be respected. As the months went by, I grew weaker and weaker. The beatings, the hard work, the lack of food and rest, it all took its toll on my body. I knew I was dying, but I didn't have the strength to fight anymore. I laid surrounded by people who had tormented me for so long. They looked at me with a mixture of contempt and pity, but I didn't care. I was beyond caring. My husband would come to visit me, but I was in the world of my own, a world of pain and suffering. As I lay on my mat, I thought about my life, about the choices my parents had made, about the circumstances that had led me to this place. I thought about my parents. I thought about my friends. I thought about my community. I thought about the life I had left behind. And I sang my song one last time. People of the world, hear my cry. I am a girl, lost and alone. I am a wife without a voice. I am a soul dying slowly. As I finished singing, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. I felt like I had finally found my voice, like I had finally been heard, and with that, I closed my eyes and let go.